Hi everyone, it's Michael Citron with the Citron Real Estate Group. I'm excited to have episode 22 of hashtag Ask Michael Monday. And pleasure to have Andy Andrews with Brisk here. It's a huge topic in real estate when you're buying or selling a house or looking to update your AC unit. Andy came in contact with Andy years ago, actually his dad. I own investment properties, and we had a kind of an emergency at one of our investment properties, and he was just in the parking lot helping out another client in the building, and I spoke with him. He came right over there, helped me, didn't know who I was. I think it was on a weekend even, and at that point in time, right afterwards, we started using Andy Sr., and Andy Jr. took over, and this was, 8-9 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, long time ago. And been working with Andy on all of our investment properties, all of our clients that need service, any clients that are looking for ACs. We certainly appreciate it's a family affair, just like at the Citron Real Estate Group. So we really like to keep it in-house and work with people that we consider, part of our team. So it's an extension of our team, having a great AC company you can call, God forbid, in the middle of the night. We've unfortunately had to do that with you. So Andy, just describe yourself a little bit. Give us your experience, background, and the history of Brisk Air.
Oh, the history of Brisk Air actually started with Andy Andrews Air Conditioning. My father came from Cuba when he was 13 years old, and really with his older brother, and had to earn his way, and he just had a niche for air conditioning. And as he got older, he used to work for MacArthur Dairy and did all the refrigeration work at MacArthur Dairy. And once that business was sold, he really didn't know what to do, and he started his own company, and he named it after me, Andy Andrews Air Conditioning, in 1988. And my father is Cuban, so every chance he had to throw me in the truck, I was in there. Sure. And I wanted to make my father proud, and I would jump in the attic and climb around the attic, because impressing my father and being there for him was always something that I truly wanted to be. And when the time came for him to move on from the company, I purchased the company from him in 2012. I doubled the company and maintained that size for 2 years. And I purchased another company, B&B Air Conditioning, which was opened in 1973. And the merger created Brisk Air, something I thought of my whole life. And I never thought that, the words that I used to use to describe my work would come to pass. And we are Brisk Air, a company that you can trust, and we promise you will feel the difference.
I like that. Very creative marketing like we do. I haven't heard that before. So question, is your company and all its technicians fully licensed and insured?
Absolutely. Well, we believe in heavily training our technicians. We have 2 Florida certified state accredited apprenticeships, journeymen. So yeah, this is what we do. We invest in our people. We want them to be the best in the business.
Great. You guys, all the technicians we work with are exceptionally good. Now, a lot of people don't understand how AC works. A question we get a lot is, what does the word SEER rating mean? Can you briefly explain what that means?
SEER rating means Seasonal Energy Efficiency Rating. The higher the SEER, the less energy consumption. Now, it does vary because, for instance, if you were to get a 20 SEER modulating system, okay, the worst you're going to get out of that unit is a 20 SEER rating. Okay. The more that it runs, it's like the unit that we put in your house. The more that it runs, the lower the capacity begins to drop, and the higher the SEER rating goes. So in some cases, your SEER rating will be the best that you'll get, and in other cases, your SEER rating would be the worst that you can get.
Okay, great. Good. I didn't even know that, but I know I have a good unit with you, so
yes,
my SEER rating's good. What size, I think this is a question, what size capacity of an AC is required for a home? We get questions of people, when do they need a second unit? What really does an AC unit, square footage wise, take up? We get that a lot when we're looking for homes with buyers of, is the AC adequate for the under living square footage?
Well, the truth is we get the most complaints at about 2,500 square feet. Okay. And usually your bedroom's on the opposite side of where your indoor unit is at, and the master bedroom is always the one that gets the least amount of airflow. So typically you would want to split that into 2 systems. But now with Mitsubishi mini split systems, you can actually zone out the whole house. So every home could have its own air handler. whether seen or not seen. And you can control that temperature for each individual room as you please, whether hot or cold.
So if somebody has a split floor plan like I do, and it's a little bit warmer on the one side than the other, you can easily make it efficient by putting
it's happening a lot in the custom homes, Michael. A lot of people, they want zoned rooms, specific rooms, completely zoned out.
Okay.
You know, so whatever temperature their child wants, whatever temperature they want in their master bedroom, each unit has its own air conditioning system. And Mitsubishi could do that. One outdoor unit can control up to 8 indoor zones.
Wow. That's great. That's good to know. So if you like it cold in your room or your kid's room, you could switch it up. So that's a great service that Brisk offers. What brands does Brisk Air offer to its clients? What do you guys? What are the brands that you promote to clients that are looking to?
The truth is, Michael, all brands are manufactured pretty much the same way. Okay. There are some that are better than others, but 80% of your unit's performance depends on the installer.
Okay.
And the new units and the government regulations of increasing the SEER ratings, changing the Freon from 22 to 410A, they're not as easy to install as they used to be in the past.
Okay.
You know, and then a lot of times you have ductwork that is the original ductwork that's 30 years old, that's building code back 30 years ago, and it's not made to match with the new equipment. So what's most important is you have an air conditioning company that thoroughly checks your system, because last thing you want to do is buy a high efficiency system and have your ductwork so be undersized that your SEER rating just goes down the tubes and your life expectancy is terribly lowered.
Gotcha.
You know, so the brand is not as important as the person that you have installing it.
It's a good idea. So you want to hire the best. So some people throw it up real quickly. We'll get people that'll use, not even professionals.
Correct.
They use handyman, and we come in the house. I'm like, this looks bad. You definitely, who put this together? Oh, my Uncle Charlie put it together. A friend, the neighbor down the street charged me a little bit of money. So when we sell the house, and we'll get into that question, which is important, it's going to come up.
Well, you'll also lose your warranty.
Correct. Of course.
If it's not installed properly, the manufacturers have pretty much had enough of all the breakdowns of the new equipment, and they're testing it because they're finding out that it's not their equipment, it's the installer. The equipment wasn't installed properly. It was not installed properly.
We have that a lot. Do you provide a warranty or guarantee with all your jobs?
Absolutely.
Okay, it's good because I get a lot of clients that ask that.
We guarantee it. We guarantee that you will feel the Brisk Air difference and that you will be 100% satisfied.
Perfect. There we go. Do you handle all permits? A lot of people don't get permits, and then when I sell the house, it sometimes can come up, or the inspector will ask for it, see it wasn't inspected by permitted, and then we have a problem before closing. So do you handle all the permits included in the price?
Absolutely. We have to jump through all the hoops and do whatever it takes to make sure that the permit process goes smooth.
Perfect. Do you offer payment plans for people who maybe need a little bit of assistance to pay over time?
100%. Financing is big. I like to finance things. It's a large investment. A lot of people they don't look at air conditioning as something that is an investment. It absolutely is an investment, and it helps relieve the burden of. You want to do the right job. If you have to change the ductwork, you want to change the ductwork. If you want to improve your indoor air quality, you have to install some UV lights. You have to install an air scrubber. You have to be willing to make the investment to do the job the right way. And sometimes we're not expecting it because air conditioning, people don't even know they have it until it breaks down.
It's true.
So financing is a way to lighten the burden, do the job the right way, have peace of mind, and save money while you all at the same time.
All right. When I bought my house, I didn't go through the process. I kind of was called to list the property in Parkland House, and we ended up buying it. We loved it so much, but I didn't do what you're talking about. I didn't have a proper inspection done, which you should call an AC company to within the inspection period to really give you that advice. And I didn't check my duct work. I didn't look at the capacities, the SEER level. I mean, we saw the age of it. It looked fine. The inspector didn't really say it was bad. It just would need to maybe be serviced or check up on it. And the life expectancy was getting to its end. But that was it. And now I'm paying the price. And thank God I have a good Brisk Air company that come out and they service our units for our investment properties and my personal unit, so that's why I highly recommend them. But I got a shock, but it was it ended up being a good shock because AC is so important as we live in South Florida. Now, does Brisk offer 24-hour emergency service?
Yes, we do. Call us anytime. We'll be there for you.
Unfortunately, I've had to make those late night calls when my tenants or when we have had no AC. So you don't have AC in the summer? This guy's your best friend. So keep him your best friend during the not-summer season. What is a typical life expectancy of an air conditioning unit?
Well, it all depends. Like I mentioned before, with the duct work and the design and the installation, you should be happy with 10 years because that's when the warranty's up. After that, any repairs, they're going to be costly, especially with the new equipment and how expensive, the higher technology is to repair and replace. But anything after 10 years, you're doing good. You're doing good, but you may be paying for the new unit with your higher electricity bills.
Sure.
If you have excessively high electricity bills, it's just not worth keeping that old clunker around.
It's true. Now, this is an important thing. What do you recommend to a buyer during the inspection period for the AC?
Well, what I recommend towards the buyer is to definitely maybe get the indoor quality tested. You want to get into the attic and have the inspector or Brisk Air come out and check your ductwork for air leaks with an infrared gun. You want to know all these things. It's important. Air leaks in the supply ductwork will create a positive pressure that will force dust from the attic into your home, and air leaks in the return ductwork will create a negative pressure that will pretty much do the same thing. It's unbalanced. It will be unhealthy for your family, and it won't be the best way for you to move into your new home.
Yeah, and definitely when we work with buyers, I really emphasize that this is your inspection period. Make sure you get the AC inspected properly, because if it does have issues, you're going to close on the house and immediately see something that needs to be repaired or replaced. And you might not have known that because you didn't get an expert. You got a property inspector to look at it and not somebody who's an expert in air conditioning. Inspectors can certainly inspect ACs, but I really feel, especially with an older unit, you really want to make sure that you're buying a house, because the process of inspecting the AC is going to be done through before you close on the house. And the worst thing can happen nightmare-wise is that your house will, your AC will be done in the first week or month that you after you purchase it. The second question to that is what do you recommend to a seller? We get a lot of sellers that want to sell their property and they just want to put their house on the market. They don't know that they should get the roof inspected, but certainly also have the ACs looked at or have the service plans done. What do you recommend to a seller who's looking to put their house on the market for sale?
Well, also just to touch back on the buyer, the warranties are not transferable. So if they have a new unit, the manufacturer does not transfer it to the new homeowner. So you want to make sure they're maintaining it well. You want to see receipts of their maintenance agreement contract to see what type of work that they've been doing to make sure you're not picking up a lemon. As for the seller, make sure your unit is clean. Inspectors, they're looking for visible signs of mold and algae growth. They check the temperature differential of the air that's going into the coil and the air that's coming out the coil. So you definitely want to get somebody in there to make sure it's in its best condition as possible. We're not saying we want you to completely rip out your ductwork and replace the ductwork, before selling the home, but you want it to be in its best condition. Help me out here.
It's the best life
expectancy and its best condition as it could be.
Well, the idea of that is that we get a lot of reports from inspectors that'll say reach your life expectancy, even on a roof. So it's the same advice I give clients, because I say you should definitely have your roof patched if there's any cracked tiles or edge roof leaks or any sort of thing that should be fixed, because the inspector for the buyer, you just got to be understanding that they're going to say the worst. They're going to put the biggest number of what the repair or replacement may be, causing the buyer ultimately to be fearful and might not close or ask for unrealistic amount of repairs requests or credits. So I say, if you're a seller, get your AC, if you have a service contract, get the company out there to service it now.
Yeah.
You're going to be done with your service plan anyways. It's typically not going to be transferable. So you get them to come out. They make it at its best. They clean everything, clean the ducts. That's a common thing I always see on an older unit. Well, like reach its life expectancy, clean ducts. I mean, that could be thousands of dollars. So if you get it within your period of your service plan, you will be able to then make it as best as possible condition when that buyer's inspector, that critical inspector, is going to go in. Because the main components of a house are the roof, the appliances, the water heater, the AC. They're checking for mold and termites. But the AC is something, especially in South Florida, that if you close on your property and that AC goes, you're pointing fingers. And
Yes.
I preface to our buyers and our sellers to make that one of the most critical items on their list before they buy a house, or if you're a seller, and then while you're a buyer during the process of buying, in that inspection period. You got 7, you got 10 days. If you don't like what the inspector said, or you bring out Brisk, that's the best advice, because then you're going to know what you're getting into. Maybe you will still move forward with the purchase, but after closing, you have a plan already. Brisk will set you up with a service plan. They'll clean, they'll take care of the job, they'll help you out, they'll put together a plan, and that's what they've done for our clients. So they don't lose cool air, especially when we're getting here into the spring, summer selling season. So that's really important. It's a question I get so much, and it's hard sometimes to have a buyer or a seller see how important the AC unit. The time when you see when the AC is so important is when you don't have it. That's the biggest thing. And personally, I've had it where they've had to come over in the middle of the night, and let me tell you, you will pay anything to get AC working in the summer. Trust me. So I appreciate you coming on and answering a lot of these questions. What is the best way that somebody can contact Brisk Air, look you up online, check you out, see your services? What do you?
You can look us up on our website, briskaircool.com. You can Google us. We'll come up. You can actually send us a message straight from Google. We have great reviews, and we want to be here to serve you and your family as long as you're a Broward resident.
Oh, Broward, Palm Beach, Miami, whatever.
Parkland, wherever.
You'll go everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So I definitely want to emphasize that you should, have your AC top of mind if you're looking to stay in your house forever and you never need my services, but you're definitely going to need his. This is the gift that keeps on giving. I'm just there when you need advice in selling or buying. We're here to earn your business and trust. For the selling season. If you're looking to buy or sell in South Florida, we'd love to earn your business. And I appreciate Andy coming on. And it's a great company. I totally promote his company to all people that have the need of AC servicing or getting a new AC. You can shop around. He gives best price, best service. His people are with him a long time. The same people coming out, and they care about our house. They say hello to our family. It's just a very different kind of experience. So I welcome you to give Andy a call. If you have any questions more for Andy, please put it in this chat, or certainly email or text us. We'd love to hear from you. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening with your family, and I'll see you next Monday, for another episode of Ask Michael Monday. Thank you so much, and have a good night.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.